This is Danny with QuadLugs, and we're going to be doing the electronics on the 480. Again, it's just as the build, the build is identical. The only difference, the arm lengths are 7 inches instead of 5 inch on the 380. So it builds identical to the 380. Everything else is the same. The electronics are all the same, but we're going to go ahead and run through this one again. So we're going to go ahead and pull the body off. And this is an older body that I had on here, or that I was messing around with, and it's been used quite a bit and still around. So this is a used piece of wood here, and you can see where I have the hole drilled where I was running the controls up through before on another one. But on this one, we're just going to run them up the side. So let's go ahead and get the pan pulled off. And we haven't put the Velcro here. I normally put, loop on the multi-rotor and everything that connects to it. We have the hook, and again, you can do it the way you want, but we'll go ahead and be putting that on, when we finish up here. Okay, so I had a piece of Velcro there, good old Hobby King Velcro we're using on this one. And we're again using the key-brain, the 4-in-1. And again, if you've watched any of our videos at all, I'm really sold on this. It works really well. And as we always do, we're going to bring them out the right side, the controls and the battery hookup. So we want it to come out this side right here. So to do that, we'll be hooking it up, or installing it rather, like this. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the Velcro. And this is a key-brain that I've used on another one also. So, they can be moved from one to the other. That's the neat thing about this. I'm going to remember this time. I always forget to run these through here ahead of time. I normally do it after the pan is installed. It makes it a little harder to do, but it can be done. So let's see. There we go. Okay. Let me get this turned here. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and install the motors. And this is going to be motor 1, 2, 3, and 4. And of course we're using a KK on here, and that's the configuration for that. And we're going to go ahead and get started with this one. I'm just going to put 2 ties on, or zip ties, and I'll put the other 2 on after we're done with this, just so I don't bore you with it. And we have the motors listed, on the product page that I use. I think they're a little bit different than these. I'm actually trying out these RC timer motors. They're 920 kV, and I think they're 2213s. No, 2212, 920 kV, and RC timer motors. And these have the clockwise and counterclockwise props for it. That just screw on, and they're self-lock or self-tightening. So you have to put the appropriate motor on the right one, or you have a prop going into orbit on you. But the props that I got with this, and they had a real good deal on them. The props that I received with these, a lot of balancing. They were way out. The hubs were way out. So we're going to try them again and see how they work out on this one. So I'm going to go ahead and get this finished, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay, I'm back, and we have the motors installed. And again, this is the front 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go ahead and start hooking up these wires, and so we can establish some routing. There we go. And we'll check rotation, you know, after a while. But this will get us our routing set up so we can finish up our wiring to the ESC. And these are full length wires on the key brain. They haven't been cut. And that's the great thing about it. I tell you, if you can do like we do on these, and use them at this length, if you ever move them, you know, it's ready to go. And the only soldering you'll have to do is just this, the battery connector. Now, if you want to cut them, you know, that's no problem. You know, unlike myself, I guess most of the time when you build one, you know, it's one, you're not doing it over again. So, but the wonderful thing about QuadLugs, you can. So, you know, if you can do it without cutting, if it's possible, like this, then it, you know, you're set up for the next one you build. And again, I'm using these Velcro ties that I get. And if you've been watching, you know, our videos, you know that I use that a lot. And I tell you what, I really like them. Again, you can use them over and over. And with me using, you know, a lot of the same components, are because I build so many of these, and I do switch it around from multi-rotor or machine to machine. Makes it real nice, and it's easy on the wires, I think, you know, than if you use a zip tie. Okay, so we have that done, and we're gonna turn this over, and I'm gonna gather these together. And make this look a little bit neater. So we're gonna come around and we're gonna do this number. This works out real well. Bring these around like this. Again, you know, obviously you can cut these to length and resorter it, and I do on some of them. You know, you won't have to do this, that's for sure, or you know, this gathering. And the neat thing about this pan covers this up. But, you know, it makes a real nice job if you do cut them. So, you know, that's totally up to you. So, this is motor number 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm sorry about that. Let me move this out a little bit. There we go. So, this is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So motor number 1, it's going to ESC here, number 4, which is brown. Number 2 is going to ESC number 1, which is red. 3, motor number 3 is going to ESC number 2, which is orange. And motor number 4 is going to ESC number 3, which is white. So it looks like this is going to be brown is 1, orange is 2, I'm sorry. Let me double check. 2 is going to 1, red. Red is 2, orange is 3, white is 4. So 1 is going to 4, which is brown. That's brown. 2 is, number 2 is going to 1, which is red. Red is number 2. 3 is going to 2, which is orange. So orange is number 3. 4 is going to ESC number 3, which is white. So white's number 4. Good. Okay. And you can see by doing that, doing the loop, really makes a nice looking job. It pulls it tight there, and it looks really good. So we're ready to put this back on. Let's see if I can get it the right way here. What we're going to do is make sure these wires are under these tabs, and we'll check again in a minute before we lock down the screws. There we go. Let me turn this to the side. Okay. There we go. Putting the screws. Let's see if let me get something to double check this. Yeah, good. So just that fast, I mean, wow. After you have if you're not going to cut them, after you have your battery plug that you're going to be using soldered on, your ESC, and if you're using motors, you know, that have the connectors on, then you're good. But if not, you may have to solder that. So after that little bit of prep is done, it goes together just this fast. I mean, it's pretty incredible. We're just about done with the electronics. And then, you know, well, the KK board I'm using from another, I switch them around. You know, I have the KK board that's mounted on our lug, what KK, our KK holder lug that's got the receiver pad on it. And this is, wow, I think our first or second round of prototyping. Look a little bit different now. But you can actually take these, and that's the lemon receiver I'm using. So you can take them, move it from quad to quad, or, you know, try to try, just as long as you know it's set up for it. So it makes it real easy. It's super fast if you're using that and just switching it, which I do. I have quite a few of them, but I still, you know, some of them I'll leave on the machine, and a lot of them I just switch around. Now what I just did was just to make sure that the wires were not between this wood and the tab here. Just one last double check before, you know, I tightened it down so we don't pinch them. And it looked pretty good. So we'll go ahead and tighten this up. And we're looking good. Again, double checking this to make sure that it's not pinched in there. And everything looks really good. So we're good to go. So we're going to go ahead and put us a piece of Velcro on here, and again I'm using the loop, and we'll put it, you know, about center here. There we go. Now the wiring, we all know that our KK board, if you're using that, the #1 motor, you know, carries the power to the board. So this is the power here, and the control wire on this is actually white, which we're going to use for #4. So I'm going to go ahead and move #4, or our brown wire rather, and our brown wire is going to be going to motor #1. Okay, I'm going to put the white one in here, so we'll be ready to go. I guess I am. Okay, and I'm going to put the brown wire here with the power. There. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put our controller on. And again, this is the front. There we go. And we have the brown with the power is going to go to #1. Red is going to go to #2. Orange is going to go to #4. White is going to go to, I'm sorry, orange is going to go to #3, and white is going to #4. So brown to 1, red to 2, orange to 3, and white to 4. And that's the way I have mine wired up. Now you can, you know, put you a wire tie here to make this look all pretty if you want to, or make it look good. So we're ready to go there. Only thing we need to do now is put our Velcro on the bottom for our battery, and our body's going to fit on like that. And I'm sorry, like that. And if I put striping on, I normally put it in the front. Now this is a little bit different than the bodies that we're selling now. This is, again, been around for a while, and it's one of the older ones. Actually, that one was handmade. They're laser cut now, the ones you'll be getting. So there we go. We're ready to check rotation and fly it and see how it goes. Again, this is Danny with QuadLugs, and that's the electronics. I mean, it is super, super easy to do. And I'm going to go ahead and check the rotation and get the props put on, and we're going to take it for a maiden and see how it does. This is Danny with QuadLugs, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.